He'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now Thomas. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. 3-9.
Back to throw here. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And, of course, on the heels of him winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He'll get it up the middle, and he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Now they'll run it on the Thomas. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Benjamin. Oh, shifty. Whoa. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
It's caught on the right side, Williams. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. No real hesitation from Anthony Lynn. They're going to go for 2.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Tough there, good pass, hit the hands, he just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw now on first down. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Detroit!
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run with Muhammad. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this.
Leopard! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back to throw. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. With that, he'll equal his receiving yards from a week ago. We're just in the first quarter. And that's a first down as well. Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He'll buy some time right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach, because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Gun! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here's Bradley Pena now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain is 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
2nd and 2, prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And they'll run it here. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Sanders has it over the middle. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is recovered by the Chargers. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll run it now out of the gun. Spins by. 'Cause 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 17 yards for the charge.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they